What's up, everyone? We got Gio back. We got Eddie back. We have no Ben here tonight. I think he's at the Sprouts getting his work on. Getting his
Gotta do
What
what
some
you gotta do.
groceries.
got to get that cheddar. You know what I'm saying? Got to get that money. All right. Well, tonight's show, we're gonna be doing it as we're watching Thursday Night Football, and we have the Giants here trying to drive and put this game away as we speak, going inside the 30-yard line here. Um, but our topics for tonight, we're going to do our power rankings. The first time we do power rankings on the show. We're going to talk what's going on with the Cowboys and all the drama out there in Big D. People calling out the coaches, coaches calling out the players. It's a big crash mess over there. We're going to talk about the Niners and what their season looks like now that we got to see them pull off a victory over the high-powered Rams. And then we're going to talk franchises because this came up on Monday as we were watching the Cowboys get destroyed. Where do they rank and where do other teams rank in the, I guess if you were going to rank franchises over the last 10 years and what they've done over the last 10 to 15 years or so.
10, 15, 20.
25.
25.
Time on the Super Bowl. We can talk about that. We're going to have a pretty good debate. I'm excited for that one. But we're gonna start off with power rankings, and we're gonna give each other's top 5 power rankings right now, going into week. What did we in week 7 now? Dang, time goes by fast.
Yeah, we're going into week
Almost
7.
halfway through.
Almost halfway through the season, man. Yeah, it's almost Halloween. So I'm gonna start off kicking it off to Gio, and he can give us his top 5 power rankings. What you got? Starting from the bottom, making your way up, so we can get the suspense.
Oh, okay. So I got some shockers probably for you guys. You guys probably don't
Underdogs.
know. I'm actually gonna start. So I have a top 5, but I'm gonna start with my 7 and 6. That way, because I'm thinking my 7 and 6 are probably in your guys' top 5. And so my 7 is the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
And
Fine.
the reason why I'm choosing the
After
Green
the
Bay
shellacking.
Packers, after that shellacking, kind of looking through the schedule, seeing the teams they beat in. There's a couple good teams they beat in, but that shellacking that they went through reminded me of the same shellacking that the Niners put them through, not just once, but twice. And I don't know if it's something as far as either if it's Aaron Rodgers getting startled, right? Everybody's saying it's Aaron Rodgers got rattled, or if it's actually them actually solving the scheme, right? Knowing what the scheme is and knowing the plays. My number 6 is actually the Ravens. And same thing kind of like with the Ravens. They took a shellacking, right? Obviously playing against the Super Bowl champs, the Chiefs. But also looking at their schedule, seeing the teams that they played against. Not really any teams that really wow me so far as the teams that they've beaten. A lot of close games, too. There's been a couple games that they've actually blown out with some teams, but those are the teams I would expect them to blow out. But my number 5 team is probably not expected from any of you guys, but it's actually the Bucks. Yeah, I know that they lost to the Saints week 1, but I give them the benefit of the doubt, and the reason being is no OTAs, no training camp, nothing so far. It's been, right, a strange year. Like I said, I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. And other than that, they've been putting up some points. And like I said, after seeing that shellacking they put on the Packers, and if the Packers, if you look at other people's rankings, like if you were to look at Bleacher Report, I think Packers are like 4. And it's like, how are they going to be 4 and Bucks are not even on the, top 5?
Doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. My next top 5 pick, number 4, is the Titans.
4 is a number.
Oh.
Numeral, and glyph.
Oh, sorry. Alexa wanted to make a guest appearance. But yeah,
She wanted to play Titans.
I definitely like the Titans. Definitely like Ryan Tannehill. I've said it before. I believe also on either if it wasn't on the podcast, it was probably offline. But definitely a believer in Ryan Tannehill, even back when he was in Miami. Just did not like the coach. Definitely like what the Titans are doing, and we all saw what Derrick Henry could do in the backfield. And when he has the rock in his hands. Number 3, it might be a shocker, but it's actually I'm going with the Seahawks. It was kind of tough. It was choosing between the Seahawks and the Steelers. The reason why I went with the Steelers over the Seahawks is I feel like the Seahawks, yes, they're winning games, but they're barely winning games, and I feel like they're games that they should be putting people out. Like the Vikings, they barely won, and there's just a lot of teams that I feel like they're playing against that are just like, what, like really, like you're letting them hang around, like if you want to be a top team, like you're not going to do that. So that's why I had them as number 3. Number 2, I had the Steelers. Definitely top 5 defense. They've been putting in the work. I feel like Big Ben is finally coming in together. I know he could be a bit lazy, and he's pretty slow in the beginning of the season, but once they get going, man, they're going, and they're getting. I might butcher his name. I think his name's Chester, but I know his last name's Claypool. He's starting to rock and roll, and for some reason, I don't know how it is every damn year, but the Steelers always find a new wide receiver who ends up being a stud. You could go all the way back to San Antonio Holmes, to Emmanuel Sanders, to Juju, Antonio Brown. They just got a gang of them. And then number 1, right, obviously the Super Bowl champs.
Shocker.
Chiefs. Right. No big shocker there. That's my like I said, that's my top 7, and the reason why I did the 7 was because, like I said, the 2 that are out are probably in your guys' top 5.
The Bucks in the top 5. I don't know about it, dude. Brady's old. Shocking they beat the shit out of the Packers, but I don't know. I don't know if I can put it in the top 5.
That like I said, I don't know. The Bucks, I feel like I said, keep them going, and I think they'll get some more quality wins, especially after what they did to the Packers. Like I said, if the Packers are the top 5 team and the Bucks are able to just thrash them,
So, guys, I'm back. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. Technical difficulties.
Give him a quick rundown. Just 5 through 1,
right,
real quick.
So 5 through 1, real quick. I got.
All right, what you got?
I got Bucks at 5, Titans at 4, Seahawks at 3, Steelers at 2, Chiefs at 1.
Okay, you got the Bucks in the top 5, huh?
Yeah, going with the Bucks.
Did Edward there go through his top 5, or he still needs to go through his top 5?
He's got to go through it.
All right, let's run it.
I'm gonna go through it. It's pretty similar. I'm surprised you got the Bucks in there, but after they beat the shit out of the Packers, I guess you can throw them in there. But I'm gonna keep the Ravens still top 5
at number 5
because they still have Lamar Jackson, MVP. And then from there, we're pretty kind of on the same page. You got 3 undefeateds, right, and Super Bowl champs.
Yep.
The Seahawks, their defense worries me. Just seeing how easily the Cowboys threw on them, and almost basically every team. But so I got them at 4. I got the Titans at 3. Just because I'm still not really, I don't know about Tannehill being a guy that can put him over the hump in the playoffs. Steelers at 2, just because they're the Steelers and they're undefeated. And the Chiefs, even though they got the 1 loss, until they really kind of start falling apart, if and when, and if they do, they're still the Super Bowl champs, so they got to stay at 1.
Yep. Okay. Like your 5. So my 5, the Packers dropped out of my 5. Had to happen. I agree with Gio. They look very similar to what they looked like playing the Niners last year, and I think the Niners last year were really one of the only tough teams they faced. I mean, they probably had maybe like 3 or 4 matchups against playoff teams. If you go back and look at their schedule, and when they played the Niners, each time they got destroyed. I think they played Seattle in the divisional round, and they barely squeaked by. So
Yep.
wasn't even impressive of a win there. So I am going to take them out of my top 5.
They're the worst 13-3 team ever.
Definitely, yeah. They're out of there. they're out of there. I think another 13-3 team that was pretty bad was the Titans back in like 2014 also. But anyways, yeah, I'll take the Packers out of there. So my top five is Tennessee. I was very impressed with their even though they let the Texans hang in there on Sunday. You know, it was a division game, so you would expect it to be a tough game. But they impressed me by going down and driving at the end of the game and scoring. I think Tannehill really showed me something there, and obviously Derrick Henry's a beast. Then I have Seattle, my number four, and I agree with what Eddie's saying that their defense is just not what it used to be. So I'm not confident that if they went up against a high-powered offense in the playoffs, that they'd be able to stop them. I didn't have the Steelers. The Steelers blowing out the Browns the way they did. That put them in my top five. And then I have Baltimore and Kansas City as my top two. Baltimore,
The Ravens.
Baltimore, although they haven't been super impressive this year, you have to give them credit for what they did last year. They're just continuing to win, and they're going to be in the playoffs and be in the divisional round at least, if not the championship game. So they're up there, and then Kansas City number one. Yeah, they lost to the Raiders, but they're going to lose eventually. They're not going to go undefeated. So those are my top five. I think we all have the Chiefs number one there.
Yeah,
Yep.
we all had
All the-
Chiefs. Who'd you say your five was again?
Tennessee, Seattle, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Kansas City.
Okay. So it looks
I
like
think since we all have Kansas City one, who was there two? I had Baltimore. Who'd you have, Joe?
I had Steelers.
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 Steelers. Okay.
Steelers.
That Baltimore Pittsburgh game is going to be nice. Can't wait to
Oh
watch
shit!
that. Can't wait to
Are you
watch
gonna have
yeah,
Dez by then?
Yeah, what's called and this will be one thing that really interesting to see is this top five picks will definitely be changed after this week because there's a lot of teams that are either competing against each other, so right they'll either remain the same or move up, and some will probably
Yeah.
drop out.
So the Steelers play the Ravens next week. That's a good one. Next
Ooh,
Sunday.
they
at
will
10
not
a.m.
have Dez by then.
No. Probably not, but I mean, that's going to be a good game right there. The Eagles wow, he just threw a freaking bomb and he's going to score. Man.
Oh, you're a couple plays behind.
I'm
He's
streaming
on
it. You're
streaming.
Oh, you're streaming. Oh, okay.
You're on antenna.
All right.
Antennae.
So moving on from the power rankings, I really don't want to talk about Monday's game, but I think we have to. Jesus Christ, what happened to the Cowboys? My
What
God.
about it?
What about it? Dude,
I was too nice to him last week.
you were the
gave
lone
him
wolf. You
24.
got it. You picked them to lose, but geez,
I gave him too much points.
yeah,
Jesus.
my God.
I thought Dalton would be okay.
To be honest, I think it's right. It's one of those things. I think given another week or two, and the Cowboys will be able to bounce back. I think they'll be fine. Offensively, I think they'll be fine. Defensively, that's a whole nother story.
The defense did what they did. They do what they do. Gave up 35 plus.
But
Dak wasn't there this time.
But
Yeah, but
you gotta say
the thing is,
they-
Zeke didn't really help
fumbled
either,
twice.
though, right? Yeah, he
Like, you
fumbles the ball
fumble-
twice.
dude,
He's already
that's just
putting that right. You guys are already behind the 8 ball.
yeah.
Changes the whole game plan, so it's like that doesn't really help
Yeah,
out.
but they still ran all over him. Regardless if they started at the 50 or the
Yeah,
20.
but they ran all over them because they were up 14-0, 21-0. Like, it changes the way your defense plays. It changes the way they play. I mean, Kyler
Changes the
Murray
whole
was
game
7
plan.
24. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying the Cowboys defense is any good, but they would have had a chance if Zeke doesn't fumble twice. They would
don't
have had a
think
better
so.
chance.
I
They
think.
would have
I
drove
think
instead of driving 40 yards, they drive 80 yards.
No, they
No,
had
I-
stopped
I-
them. They had stopped them like 3 straight drives before they fumbled.
Yeah,
I think the way it would have played out if he doesn't fumble, I think it would have been a closer game. It might not be scoring touchdown for touchdown, but there would definitely be, maybe a touchdown here, a field goal, and then maybe another touchdown.
I mean, we have people inside the locker room saying things about the coaches in Dallas, and shit's just getting
Yeah,
out of
It's
hand.
falling apart.
yeah, and like I said, and it's gonna be. I hate to say it, it's gonna be an excuse, and it's gonna be that way for. Oh, he fumbled the ball. It's gonna be like that way for like I said, it's gonna be the season's gonna be kind of like with an asterisk on it, right? No OTAs, no training camp. You can only do so much virtually, right? I feel like a lot of this stuff would have been squashed like if you had all this stuff. That's why you're hearing, right, some pointing here and there. And my message to all the players and to the coaches would be, reading this book that was recommended to me, and it's about, complete ownership. Just own your shit, own your mistakes. Right, that's
They
it.
don't. They don't
You
because they're
know,
full of it.
don't
Yeah,
don't point fingers. Right, it's a team sport. It's not an individual sport. It's a team sport.
yeah. As I was thinking about this, the things that came to mind was like, dude, you got to keep things in house. It's only week 6. We just got past week 6. Like, man, it's early. I mean, I understand that maybe they've been talking to the coaches about, hey, let's do this instead, or my skill sets fit better for this. But it's like, man, give it a chance. You're only like through not even half the season. Plus,
Well, the worst.
like, why are they like speaking out so much? It's like, are you spending time reading the playbook? Are you spending time doing your homework? Like,
Nah, they're
are you
full of
putting in
shit.
work? Like, or are they
They
just
just
making
want to blame
excuses
everybody
because they
else.
suck?
Just make
Yeah.
excuses because they suck. They don't even give. You could watch every other play. They're fucking half-assing it. I can only imagine the kind of half-ass practices they have. They don't even go full speed in the game. They're probably
The,
half-assing in practice.
the other crazy part about it too is it's like you have all this stuff that's going on, right? All this drama that's going on, and it's like you guys are still winning the division. You guys are still right
First
in
place.
charge of the division. Like
Yeah.
all you got to do is win a few more games. Like that's it.
I think players are not happy with the coaching change because they had it such a like a players coach in Garrett. You know, he was like never a guy to call out a player in public. Like they probably were just comfortable with him, and now they see this change and they're like, oh,
They're
this
sure.
is different. And they're
Now
not,
they're realizing they're not good.
yeah, there's a lot of guys probably that were just comfortable being who they were, and now they're being pushed to be something else or to be better, and they're just not reacting to it properly. And those are the kind of guys you got to get out of there. If you're Mike McCarthy coming in as a new coach, like bring in your guys, bring in the guys that are gonna fight for you. Get these guys out of there because if you're gonna have even if it's a handful, 5, 6 players being that way, it's like you gotta get them out before they just ruin the whole team.
Get them the fuck out of there.
Yeah, get like Trump said. Trump said, "Get
Get
that."
that son of a bitch off the field. Fuck it. Jalen Smith, not the answer. Demarcus Lawrence, not the answer. Woods, not the answer. Crawford, I forgot he was still on the team.
What
Anybody
about
else on the D line?
Awuzie? Is he still on the team?
Yeah, he's been hurt though. He's been hurt. He hasn't been playing.
Who's the other guy that you guys? Who's that corner that you guys end up letting walk? Where's he at?
Byron Jones. He
Byron?
went to Miami.
Oh
Miami.
yeah, Byron Jones. Where's he at?
Miami.
Where's he? Miami. Dolphins.
Oh, he's in Miami. Welcome
Yeah.
to Miami.
Yeah. Yeah. But
All
I
right.
mean, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't expect. I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they lose to the Washington football team. I'm kind of just like the season. If they win a division, fine. But it's whatever.
Ruin their
It's
draft stock.
yeah. It's just as a new coach, you got to come in and basically start over. Especially when your quarterback goes down. I mean, he was really our only hope to even get to 8 or 9 wins, I think. So now the most wins I see is 6 or 7, and I can't believe the Eagles are losing right now. Maybe they're already winning on your TV.
No, they're still losing, and Giants are driving. I think the one thing that really holds the Eagles back right, obviously, right, no one's gonna say it's an excuse because no one wants to talk about it as right injuries and stuff. But man, like their O line is just straight atrocious. Like I thought the Bears O line was bad. Like the Eagles could give them a run for their money too. Like Carson Wentz drops back and like there's already a guy up in his face and he's having to take off and run. Like
Well, I
and
mean, the Cowboys are both just destroyed by injuries. You know.
yeah, like it's just crazy because it's like like I said, I'm watching this game and the Giants are the Giants definitely have, like they have Daniel Jones, but on the defensive side, like I might know one or two guys on that whole defensive team, and it just seems like the whole D line is making their way to attack the Eagles, or to attack Carson Wentz, I should say.
So, if the Eagles lose tonight and they go to 1-5-1, the Cowboys are still in first place. And if they beat the Redskins, they'd be 2-0.
They're really in first place.
2-0 in the division, 2 games up on everybody, or 1 game up on the Giants, I guess. But they've already beaten them, so it's crazy. If they win the next 2 games, it's like they're at a good spot in the chase to win the division. You know.
The one thing is this, I'll tell you this, is you don't want to end up in the same spot. And you guys may have forgotten this, but this was way back in the day when the Raiders had I believe it was McFadden was there. When the Raiders won, they didn't win the division, but they beat everybody in their division. But those were their only wins.
Yeah.
And I think they had like maybe one more win, and they still didn't even make it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that you don't want to end up as. It's like, yeah, we beat everybody in our division, but you didn't even win the division.
But
if the Cowboys win 6 games, they're winning the
division. They'll win the division.
I don't see
right.
them
No, I get that. I just say, just don't forget that can still happen. I think that was
really
like 2010.
I don't think they have a shot to beat anybody outside of the East.
Possibly. So what are predictions right now for the East? Cowboys or Eagles? Or the New York Football Giants?
I think the Eagles are gonna slightly turn it around, and they have the tie under them. That's gonna help them out.
If the Eagles are gonna slowly turn it around, tell me when. Because if you look at their schedule, it's not looking good for them either.
Can you tell me who they're playing against? Do you have it up?
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now. So, if they lose tonight, which they're close to, I mean, has it hit the 2-minute warning on your screen?
No, it hasn't. And Evan Ingram just dropped this fucking beauty of a dime that Daniel Jones just threw him, and so now they got to punt the ball to the Eagles.
Okay, so the Eagles are probably gonna drive and score. Wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay, so after tonight, they have the Browns in Cleveland. They have Seattle and Philly. They have Green Bay at Lambeau. They have New Orleans coming into Philly. Evan Ingram, you moron. They have Arizona in Arizona, and then they play Cowboys in Washington. Like
Deshaun Jackson just got hurt.
Which one of those games, other than the Cowboys and the Washington football team, are you going to say they're the favorite to win? None. Exactly. I can't believe he just dropped that pass. If they win this game, they're going to win division. If they lose right now,
they're fucked.
If they lose, I still would think, you know what? If they lose right now, I actually give the Giants a shot.
You know, I'll tell you this:
the Giants win or lose.
My thing is this: if Eagles win tonight, I'm favoring the Eagles. If they don't win, I don't think the Eagles win the division. If they lose tonight, the Eagles aren't winning the division.
So I have a feeling the Eagles are going to score here. Move on to another team. Let's move on to the Niners, bro. What was up with your Niners, man? They came out strong on Sunday night.
Dude, it's crazy. With Kyle Shanahan being there, I believe the stat. I was reading. They put up a stat on the game. They said that the Niners, I think, are like undefeated against the Rams or something like that. Actually, no, I take it back. With Jimmy, ever since since Jimmy G has arrived to the Niners, the Rams have not beaten the Niners since Jimmy G has been playing.
Really?
Yeah,
How many games?
So, well, that's 4 games.
I 4 games.
I think it's
Because
4 games.
Five?
because Kyle
2 seasons?
Shanahan's first year, he didn't have Jimmy G until the end of the season.
Yeah,
Right. So he only
that's
played him
when
once.
that's when they beat him.
Yeah, and so,
And
but
then
he's played
once,
him 4 times already. He's already played
and
him
then
four
the fluke.
times.
Yeah.
But it's crazy, and like what they were able to do to Aaron Donald, it was crazy. They were showing like I think he only had one pressure on like 20 passing downs. Like it was crazy, crazy numbers. But yeah, if I'm still a little hesitant. Allie would tell me, they're going to go to the fucking Super Bowl. That's what she would tell me right now. But I'm still a little hesitant. If they beat the Patriots this Sunday, it'll be really interesting to see like what happens. Because it's like, wow, like okay, they might have a chance to string a couple more games together. I could see them going for sure, probably 8-8. Though I could see them being in the middle of the pack. The one thing that I did notice when they were playing against the Rams was they didn't really get that many pressures. No sacks. They had no sacks at all, and it's really you could really tell the difference without Nick Bosa being there, Solomon Thomas, right? Without them being there. But you could also see the emergence with Emmanuel Mosley there, with us actually having a real legit corner. It made things easier for the defense. As
What,
far as the
Sherman's not legit?
No, Richard Sherman's legit. I would just say without, with the other freaking guy from the practice squad who Miami was like, this is all we're going to do. We're just going to burn this one guy. And that's all they did, right? Like that was, right? That's the name of the game, right? Whatever the weak spot is, you keep going there until they force you to go somewhere else. But
Yeah,
like I said,
I was looking at their schedule though, and it looks super hard too.
Ooh, the
yeah,
fucking West, dude.
the West has been, I feel like the West has been good for the last maybe 3-4 years. Like the Seahawks were just in the Super Bowl, what, less than 5 years ago. The Rams were just there. The Niners were just there. Like the Cardinals are starting to come up, but the Cardinals, I'm just kind of like I feel like they're pretenders still. Like there's some teams that I feel like they should beat and they lose, but there's some teams that I'm like, oh yeah, they should definitely lose and they beat them. But I'm not really truly convinced on the Cardinals yet.
I
Yeah.
think they're good.
How
Kyler
many
Murray's real deal.
how many wins do you see the Niners having?
I could see them. They're 3-3 right now. I could see them winning. Like I said, I could see them going 8-8. I'm really hoping that the offense could take that next step, right? Next step forward, where it's like, oh, okay, where Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk are able to like finally, you know, take those leaps as far as being like better receivers and throwing the ball downfield. None of this, Don't get me wrong, the short passes are good too, but if we could start handing those, intermediate routes, right? Like maybe 8 to 15 yards deep. I think the Niners don't really have that many passes that are like completed as far as 20 plus. Maybe a
Yeah.
few. And the only way they're completed is right, the guy's like wide open. Other than that, like I said, I've just seen Jimmy G take a couple of steps forward as far as like, okay, having real command of the offense and just start, throwing some dimes out there.
Yeah, I was looking at their schedule and I see them 7-9. Just because how tough their schedule is, the West is stacked, and it's not only the West. It's like they have the Patriots, they have the Bills, right? They have to play the Bills.
Yep, they got to play
Um, They have to play the Cowboys, who are a really tough team this year. No, I think like their next like 5 games are like really hard. Oh,
yeah.
New England, Seattle, Green Bay, New Orleans, and LA, and then Buffalo. The thing though, like last year, I doubted them when they were going through that tough stretch, and they ended up winning like almost every game. So I really don't want to just completely doubt them again, you know?
That's
Yeah.
why I think they go 9-7.
Like I said, I could see them going 8-8, and right, it's the offense is still banged up, right? You have the O line, and it'll be really interesting with this whole COVID stuff going on. Like you never know. Like look at the Raiders right now. Tomorrow at work, I'm gonna be sending out an email saying, hey, like there's now a uh, new Sunday game, right? The Raiders Bucks game is being pushed out, and it's because the whole O line might not even play this Sunday, and like it could be an odd chance, right? And it sucks for the Raiders if if the whole starting O line is out.
What you're saying is the Niners. You never know. You might run into a game where like I don't know, the Bills don't have two of their starting, linemen or something like that.
Yeah, fuck. It could even be, look at Cam Newton. Cam Newton missed what 2 weeks ago. It could be fucking. It could
Yeah,
be,
it could be Cam
Russell
Newton
Wilson's out.
Can't do it
Like
again.
Did
so
the Eagles really just score like that?
they did,
Wow.
but that's to my point. That's all I'm saying as far as that. That's the way I can see it shaking out. Like, it's right. The game of football is a lot of skill, a lot of coaching, a lot of great players, and then you got to throw in some luck in there too. You got to get
Yeah.
those balances that go in your favor.
What do you think about the Niners, Edward? You think they get to 8 wins?
Yeah, I can see them getting 9.
9 wins?
If they start getting healthy, and they'll pull off a couple wins in a row.
Yeah. Does that make it to the last? Because there's an extra wild card this year.
Possibly.
You
I don't
never
know.
know.
I think it's gonna be a battle between. Don't count the Cardinals out, man.
No, like I said,
For the last
I
game?
have Cardinals. I just need them. I just need to see, like, if they beat the Seahawks right this Sunday, I'm like, okay, they're the real deal, right? Like, it's like, oh, okay, like, even if they keep it close, it's like, okay, they're the real deal. But if they're gonna like play against the Seahawks and the Seahawks just run away with it, it's like, okay, they're not there yet. They're not gonna be able to compete against all the other better teams.
Well, we'll see. We're all kind of saying 9, 8, 7 wins right there, and I don't know if that might make the last wild card, but definitely doesn't win division.
No, definitely not. Not when you have the Seahawks at 5-0. It's gonna be hard to catch up.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to the last subject or topic, and this is the one I was waiting for. All right, Edward. What have the Cowboys been over the last, I'm going to say, 25 years, just to give you a little more firepower behind your debate here?
We'll go since 2000.
Okay, since 2000. Since 2000.
2000. The Cowboys are in the likes of the Browns, the Bills, the Dolphins, the Redskins. Sorry, the Washington football team. Artists formerly known as the Redskins. Those teams are below them, and then you got the Cowboys.
So you're saying the
The
Cowboys
Jaguars,
are only
the
above
Jaguars.
those teams?
Yeah, in the bottom of the barrel, the bottom 10, or the garbage 10.
You're saying the Cowboys are in the bottom 10?
Yeah, Lions, maybe the Lions, still Lions in there. That's the mix. That's who we're working with right now.
You're saying the Cowboys?
That's our cohort at the moment. It's the year 2000.
Since 2000, in the bottom 10.
That's who we are. That's what the numbers say we are.
Why are you picking?
I'm ready for this. I'm ready.
Why are you picking 2000? Why are you picking 2000?
I got
Why am I
the
picking
numbers.
2000?
Why are you picking 2000? Yeah. Why
I
are
was
you
born in
picking
1993.
Why can't I pick 1990? Why can't I pick 1990 and say, well, the Cowboys won 3 Super Bowls since then?
You can.
Why not?
It's great. You watched them win 3 Super Bowls.
No, I didn't watch them win all 3 Super Bowls, but why can't I pick
2,
90?
1.
I guess what I'm saying is, why are we saying 2000?
I'm
Why
just saying,
2000?
since when have they been trash? Since the year 2000.
No, the reason why we said 2000 was because we said, right, we're saying what are the top franchises, right? This is where it started. What are the top 5 franchises? And I was like, okay, well, let's look back at the last 10 years. And we all said what we said, and then I was like, well, let's look at the last 20 years. And if we look at the last 20 years, Cowboys are actually top 10. They're actually number 10. They have, I believe,
overall record,
Yeah, overall record, they're 160
Oh, there's Daniel Jones.
to 144, right? And if
Yeah.
you look at it,
So
yeah,
what?
if you look at it, they're definitely not bottom of the barrel. Yeah, they might have had a few seasons where they sucked, but fuck, every team does. Unless you were the Patriots when you had Tom
A few
Brady,
seasons?
right?
It's more like every other season. The reason why they're
No,
number
no.
10 is because they either win 11 or 13 games or they win 1 to 4.
No, that's
But
not
it's every
true.
other
How can you
season.
how can you say that? That's
It
not
is
true.
Or 8 and 8.
No, it's
Or a
not.
lot of 8 and 8.
They won 8 games last year and the 10 before that.
Yeah.
Like,
in
I don't.
2015, they won what?
Okay.
3 games?
Look, the reason you're putting them down with
They go
those
8 and
teams
8.
because they go 8 and 8. The Browns don't go 8 and 8. When's the last time the Browns won 8 games actually?
Fuck, a long
Never.
time.
That's what I said. They're above them.
Yeah,
They're
and
right
look,
above
okay,
them.
but the other thing too, though, is like, so I did some research on this. So yes, the Cowboys are 10, right? They're number 10, and yeah, it helps that one of the teams that is in their division is in the bottom 5 of the winning percentages, right? So
Yeah.
we all know who that
Yeah, as I said, we're
bottom
below
5 team is, right?
the
We
football
all know
team.
who that bottom. They don't have a logo right now or who they belong to.
The
They're
W.
still trying to figure that out. The one that shocked me the most when I was doing all this research and seeing like who the top 10 franchises were, in the last like 20 years, one that shocked me the most was the Eagles, seeing where they were at. But then like looking back at it, it's like, oh, okay, like,
Shocked because they were
you know,
good?
yeah, then that's
Yeah,
what I'm
that
saying.
shouldn't be a
It's like,
surprise.
damn, like you kind of
Fucking
forget, right? All
McNabb
these
ran the
seasons
show
kind
for
of
years.
start blurring together. It's like, okay.
All right, look, I can't understand how you say you're gonna put them down with those teams you named. Like that's
Not down. They're right above them.
okay, right up,
That's it.
even right
And
above
that's
them.
it.
Okay,
That's who they're
so
above.
the Jags are better than them. The Jets are better than them.
No. I named the
The-
Jags. I forgot the Jets, but I'll lump the Jets in there. Obviously, the Jets are probably if not the worst, second.
Okay,
Second to the
Bottom
Giants.
10. I'm saying bottom 10. Bottom 10.
No,
That's 9 teams.
not bottom 10.
Browns,
Not bottom 10.
Bills, Dolphins, Jaguars, Jets, Lions,
Okay,
Redskins. Football team.
Raiders.
You gotta throw the Raiders in there. Raiders are trash. They were number 3. I think they were
Yeah.
number 3.
Yeah, you give the
It
Raiders.
was
That's 8.
Browns. It was
Houston?
Browns, Lions, Raiders.
Dude, don't
Top
say
3 worst
the
teams.
Texans are better than them because they went to an AFC championship one time. What about Houston?
Yeah, that's great. They went to a fucking AFC championship. Cowboys
so
can't
did
do
the
that.
Jets.
Do they
Fucking
hang an
great.
AFC? They hang an AFC championship runner-up banner in their stadium? Like,
Doesn't
what does
matter.
it matter?
Doesn't matter.
It
They
does.
could fucking
Yes,
get
it
there.
does.
They could actually
But
get
No,
there.
not as long as you get there. I don't care. Dude,
The
no.
Jets got
Okay,
there with butt fumble marks.
The Jets got there, bro. Rex Ryan. They had some solid years.
yeah. So the Jets are better than the Cowboys as a franchise.
Nope. No, I named the Jets.
Okay, that's your argument though. That's how you're building your argument though.
No, I'm
You're
not. I'm
building your-
saying they're bottom 10. We got
No,
9
they're not.
teams below them.
No, they're not. No, they're not. You have not looked at the whole list. You have not looked at the whole list. So you're saying the Bears are a better franchise than the Cowboys?
Sure. What's the difference? They're the same. They're above them.
No, they're not.
Get some okay years.
No, they're not. They had like two good
some
years.
okay years
man.
with Jay Cutler.
Two
I
good
think-
years.
So
Yeah.
here's my top 10 teams. You guys ready? Top 10
Yeah.
franchises. So I got Patriots, number 1. Steelers, number 2. Colts, number 3. Packers, number 4. Eagles, number 5. Ravens, number 6. Broncos, number 7. Seahawks, number 8. Saints, number 9. Cowboys, number 10.
And you're
Wow.
saying since 2000.
Since 2000, those are the top 10 franchises. And the reason being so the Patriots, it's right, number 1, it's clear, right?
Obvious.
6 Super Bowls, right? Okay. Steelers, number 2. how many Super Bowls has Big Ben won? And they've always been competitive. There's been like a couple seasons where they haven't really been in the mix, but for the
Hmm.
most part, they're usually winning the division. Number three, the Packers makes sense. Like they have the Lions in their division. The Lions, I think, are number two worst team in the NFL. Like not really, right? You have the Bears and the Vikings. The Bears are like the only one that's like in the middle of the pack. The Vikings bottom 10. You have the Eagles. So in the Eagles division, you have the Cowboys, like I said, are top 10 franchise in the last 20 years as far as win percentage goes. And then we have the Redskins, who's I believe number 3 or 2 or something like that. And then you have the Giants, who are like in the bottom, not necessarily in the middle, but like more of the bottom in the middle. Um, let's see, who was after that? Then you have the Ravens. So the Ravens have obviously the luxury of playing against the Browns 2 times a year. They might split a game with the Steelers, but they're definitely sweeping the Bengals, right? So that helps out. After the Ravens, you have the Broncos. Right, the Chiefs have sucked. The Raiders have sucked. The Chargers have been okay with Philip Rivers, but Philip Rivers has never had a good GM or a good head coach, so the Chargers were never going to go anywhere. You know, if you have Antonio Gates, you have Vincent Jackson, and you have Darren Sproles, and you decide to just trade them all away, that just tells you it's either bad ownership or bad GM, one or the other. The next team, you have the Seahawks. Well, Niners sucked. The Cardinals suck, and the Rams also sucked. Like the Niners have been coming up the past few years, but it doesn't make up for the other, 15 years. Like that's the case there. You have the Saints. If you look at the rest of the division, like who's really there? There's not really a lot of good teams there. They've not really been consistently good. And then the last team to round it out is the Cowboys, right? And they also benefit, right, playing against Washington, who's also a bottom 5 team, right? Twice a year, like I said, Giants in the lower end of the middle. And then you also have to go up against the Eagles, who I believe was a top 5 franchise.
Yeah, I mean, I cannot. There's no way that the Cowboys are the bottom 10 franchise even if you go since 2000, and the reason for that is because look, I could go down the list of. You already said Cleveland, Buffalo, Miami.
And it's
you
the
named
Bengals too. We'll throw the Bengals in there.
you named like 8 other ones, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
You didn't. Yeah, exactly. You didn't even name the
I'll
Bengals
try.
yet. Did you name Tampa Bay? I mean, what's Tampa Bay done in the last 15 years?
Well, they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
19
2002.
2001, bro. Whatever it was, 2002. Okay.
Yeah, when the Cowboys won.
And what have they done since? What have they done since? They have not. They've never
Nothing-
constantly been.
They haven't done
fighting for the division.
anything. They haven't not done anything that the Cowboys have done, so it doesn't matter.
No, I would argue that the Cowboys have always been fighting it out to make the playoffs, pretty much every
That's great.
year.
That's
The
cool.
other
They
thing
fight it
too,
out.
though,
It is great.
The other thing I think
Me
too,
as a fan, I like going into a season thinking, okay, we're gonna have a chance to make the playoffs. I don't want to go in a season as a Bucks fan being like, okay, this year because we have Tom Brady, maybe we have a chance. But the other years, you never thought the Bucks were gonna make the playoffs. You never once said, yeah, the Bucks are gonna be fighting for a playoff spot. I don't remember the last time I said that. At least, I really don't. The Cardinals, yeah, they made a Super Bowl with Kurt Warner. They had some good years there with Kurt Warner. But other than those 2 years since 2000, I mean, until this
what have they
year,
done?
what have they done? Come
What
on.
have they done?
The Panthers had a good run, a good 2-year run with Cam Newton.
Cam
Yeah, a couple of year runs with Jake Delhomme. 2 different
Jake
runs.
Delhomme. Okay. You know what? I would tell you. Okay, the Panthers have done more than the Cowboys. I would say that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you
They made
gotta
us-
understand it. They get the benefit of the doubt of the division that they're in, right? How tough is that
Doesn't
division,
matter.
right? We always talk about this. No, it does matter because think about it. we always talk about in the NFC, it's a fucking battle just to make the playoffs. In the AFC, the teams are already locked in after like week 6, right? You already know who's going to the playoffs. You already know it's going to be the Chiefs. You already know it's going to be the Steelers. You already know it's going to be the Ravens, right? You always know it's the Patriots, right? You already know the spots are locked. They never change.
I would say
the only thing that changes is the seeding.
I would say the Panthers have had competitive teams going against them. Maybe not multiple teams every
Past
year,
10
but
years.
there's always been like the Saints have always
Saints
been
and
good, or
Falcons
sometimes
are
the
good.
Falcons have been good. Yeah, so okay, I would give you the Panthers. I wouldn't give you the Falcons. I don't care if they made the Super Bowl that year. By them blowing a 28-3 lead, they threw that Super Bowl out the window, and that's really all they've done. What else have they done? They've made the playoffs times.
I like how they blame Kyle Shanahan for that too, when they've done the same thing, even though he's been gone. So it tells you it's not the offensive coordinator, it's the defense. Because what has Dan Quinn done? Nothing. That's why he lost his job.
The Falcons
He got fired.
The Falcons have had 2 better seasons than the Cowboys have in the last 20 years. 2 better seasons. They made the Super Bowl one time, they lost. They made an NFC Championship one time,
Championship.
and they lost.
Lost.
And I think that would be it. So 2. Oh, and they this is it. 2 better seasons in the last 20 years in Dallas. And then like the Rams made a Super Bowl in 2001, 2002, something like that.
Yep.
And since then they made the Super Bowl again a couple years ago.
Yep.
But between those 2 Super Bowls, what had they done?
Fucking nothing.
Nothing.
They hadn't even
that the Cowboys have done. So
when's the last
the
time
Cowboys have done better than them?
Yeah, when's the last time you saw the Rams?
Done what?
The Rams had Sam Bradford, who decided to tear his ACL back-to-back years instead of becoming like.
When's the last time the Rams made the playoffs before they made the Super Bowl this other year? When they played the Patriots and lost.
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Exactly. It does matter. It does matter because we're saying 20 years. We're not saying who has had a better year in the last 20 years. We're saying the overall 20 years. And I don't know how we picked 20 years, but if we're saying 20 years, the Rams are still not. They haven't had an overall better 20 years in Dallas. So, anyways, my where I put Dallas, look, I put Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's been number 1, other than the Patriots. We all agree the Patriots obviously number 1. Pittsburgh's been number 2. Baltimore has always been really good. They've always been in championship games. If it wasn't for them playing against the Steelers, they'd probably been more. Green Bay's always been really good. They've made championship games with Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. They've won Super Bowl. New England, obviously. Seattle's made Super Bowl with Hasselbeck, a couple times with Russell Wilson, and they've consistently been in the playoffs. And after that, I would say you have a group. I would say you have after that you would have the Saints. The Saints have been really good, but I don't put them in those other 5. And the reason being is because I think that the Saints have actually underachieved. They've had some chances when they've been at home in championship games and they've lost. But they did they made 1 Super Bowl, right? They won. So I put the Saints up there because they're constantly in the playoffs too, even though they may not win many playoff games. The Chiefs, they've had multiple good runs with multiple quarterbacks. Right? You had Trent Green there for a while, Alex Smith, Patrick Mahomes. Chiefs have been good. The Colts, the same. They have Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck. If it wasn't for Andrew Luck retiring, they'll be fighting it out in the playoffs. And then Denver. The only reason I put Denver up there is because they've made playoffs with multiple quarterbacks. They won Super Bowl. They made 2 Super Bowls. Manning. And so after that is where I start getting into okay, now you're getting into kind of not bottom of the pack, but kind of those middle, I would say
the rest
above
the winners,
above everybody else.
above average franchises where like as a fan you can't be like I'm not happy that the Cowboys haven't made a Super Bowl or won a Super Bowl, but I've always had hope that they were gonna be in the playoffs. Like literally every year, other than the years that Romo was out for 10 or more games. Literally every year I'm like, okay, we have a chance to make the playoffs. We have a chance to make the playoffs. And yeah, that's not great, but it's not trash. I'm not sitting there being
It's
like
mediocre. Garbage.
team. It's mediocre. It's mediocre. It's
Trash.
average. It's no,
Garbage.
it's not trash. It's not
It
trash.
is, bro.
Trash
Come
is
on,
knowing
so
that
you
you're
had hopes.
trash
Trash
is
is
knowing
knowing
that
that
too.
you're not
Is it the
even.
Cubs where you know you're mathematically already out of the playoffs?
The Cubs?
Yeah.
You say the Cubs? You mean the
Oh, no, the
2016
Mets.
champion Cubs?
Talking about the
Fucking
I meant
Cubs
the
have won a
Mets.
championship sooner than the Cowboys.
No, look. Imagine being a freaking Jets fan or a Redskin fan or even until like the later, the recent years, a Rams fan, bro. Like, come on, dude. You would never expect your team to do anything ever, ever.
Yeah, you never. Yeah. If you're a Browns fan, like you're fucking ecstatic right now. You're what 4-2?
And I'm not even
Yeah.
I'm not even saying Browns. I'm saying teams like, um, dude, Arizona. Yeah, they've had a couple of good years, but they go 1 or 2 years in the playoffs and then they go 7 or 8 where they have no chance at all.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, come on, bro. You're a Kings fan, dude. You know what a trash franchise is. Come on, we all know.
Yeah,
what
it's the same shit.
No, it's not.
It's the
No,
same
it's
shit, bro. It's either you're good or you're fucking garbage. And
no.
it's garbage, bro. They didn't learn a thing. We're doing this all over again. The Jones
What do you
fans
mean?
didn't learn a thing, bro. We had Romo for years and we wasted it. Here we go again with Dak. It's the same
So are you
thing
saying
all
that-
over again, bro.
Are
There's
you
no
saying
hope.
the Jones
No
hope.
family is the Maloofs?
You can't say they waste.
No.
You can't say they completely
No,
wasted it.
checked out completely.
The Cowboys had a 13-3 record. They had a home playoff game against the Giants, the team that they had
So what?
beaten twice that year. What I'm saying is the players didn't get it done. They were there, bro. They were there. They had the talent. They had the team.
Are the players not part of the franchise? The franchise
Yeah.
as a whole has been
Yes,
a failure. Top to bottom. GMs, players, coaches. Last 20 years. Failure.
No,
Failure.
I would not
They
say.
have failed.
Okay, if you're putting it in the context of they have failed to make a Super Bowl, yeah. So have half to 3/4 of the other teams.
Yeah, the rest
Shit,
of the
there's still
trash.
teams that never even made it yet.
The rest of the trash bin.
Bro, but you can't. No, you can't. When you threw them down there with those other teams, I was offended. I can tell you that. I was offended, bro. I was
You know what,
upset.
dude? I'm fed up. I can't defend these guys anymore. The rest of the world fucking calls them trash, and I'm not gonna tell them to stop or say otherwise, because they're fucking garbage.
Okay, dude. You when they were 13-3 with Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott,
That's
come on,
great.
dude,
That was
you're
1
all
year.
upset.
That was a fucking magical year, rookie years.
No, it wasn't just 1 year.
memory.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't just 1 year because the next year they went down to the very last game to make the playoffs. They missed the playoffs,
They
but
weren't
they
as good.
fought it all the way through. And then the next year they made the playoffs and won a
Cool.
playoff game. And they
Yeah.
played the Rams to the last possession of the game. So like,
They would've
how
made
can
the
you say it
playoffs
was
this
just
year.
1 year? And
They're
and
probably
then
gonna make the playoffs this year.
It was
like
one
last
really
year
good
was-
year.
last year was disappointing. Okay, last year was disappointing because you had higher expectations coming off a playoff win, going into a season thinking, okay, they're gonna make the playoffs again, and they didn't.
And
Uh,
what happened? Again,
they
can't even make the
did.
playoffs 2 years in a row.
They didn't make the playoffs.
That's bottom 10 type efforts.
No, it's not. It's middle of the pack.
dude.
It's middle of the pack. It's
So
slightly
they're
above
in the
of the middle of the pack.
middle of the pack. You split it in threes. You got your top 10. You got your bottom 10. They're middle of the pack. They're at the bottom of the middle 10.
No, they're at the very top of the middle 10. They're at the
Mm.
very top. Dude, look at the numbers. They've won the 10th most games since 2000. If you're talking about winning, they won the 10th most since 2000.
Numbers don't lie, bro.
The 10th most games since 2000. And they've had another team in their
And
division who's
3
won a lot of
playoff wins.
divisions.
3 playoff wins.
They've won, 3 playoff. Yeah, I understand.
That's bottom
They
10
haven't-
type. That's bottom 10 type.
Bro,
numbers.
but you gotta think about it. Look at the Patriots. How many times have they been to the Super Bowl? And how many times have they won? Like
Enough.
fuck,
They won
right?
enough.
Yeah, but
What do you
okay,
mean?
right? So look at that way, right? And then how many times have they been in the playoffs? They're playing in a fucking
Almost every
like
year, except
19
for
years,
once.
right? Almost like 19, 18 years. But they've only gotten 6 Super Bowls out of it. Like, that's it's hard,
Yeah.
bro. It's
Okay, they've
this
only
isn't-
got 6 Super Bowls.
right.
No, what he's trying to say is you make the
It's-
playoffs 20 years and you still only made it there a quarter of the time to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That's with
that's great.
That's with having.
That's fucking
that's-
great.
Bro, this isn't basketball. Like, you know, it ain't LeBron James where you can just fucking call 2 of your buddies up, hey, let's go form a super team over here in LA. You know, this isn't basketball, bro. This is NFL where it's actually competitive. Where, you know, it's not going to be consistent every year showing up, you know, the same teams.
Look,
It's
you
not the
also
same
gotta look-
team. It's
you also gotta
wherever
look at
LeBron's at and whoever else is in the other conference.
the teams that have, in the NFC East have won 3 Super Bowls
Super
in the
Bowls.
last. Yeah, 3 Super Bowls. So that means you've had tough competition in your division. You haven't just had. How many Super Bowls has the AFC East won other than the Patriots?
None.
None.
So what?
And that means that it's exactly what Gio is saying. You've been making the playoffs every year, partly because your division sucks. Yeah, you're a great team, but also partly your division's been bad, and so you
They
get
get it
more
done.
chances to win.
Yeah,
No.
and they get it done.
Yeah, okay, yeah, they get it done, but it doesn't. You can't just say, okay, yeah, they get it done, that's it. No, you got to look at the full picture. You got to.
What do you mean? That's all that matters. Are you getting it done or not? You're not getting it done. 20 years of nothing.
That's
Of not getting it done.
That's not
That's
all
it.
that matters.
That's all that matters.
No,
And no
that's-
hope moving forward.
How is there no hope moving forward?
Where's the hope?
You have
where's
one of
the
the
hope?
best quarterbacks in the league. He's got hurt this year. He'll be back next year.
He's not going to fucking be able to win by himself.
Nobody's saying he's going to win by himself. They built a good team around him before, obviously. That's why his rookie year he won 13 games. What is to say
Yeah,
they
that
can't
was-
build a good team?
That was almost
3
like
years
the tail end of a good team. Because now you got to rebuild both lines again.
Dude, it took from 2012 to 2014 to build a real Super Bowl contender. In 14, the Cowboys were a Super Bowl contender. In 15, they
Yeah.
would have been a contender too, but Romo got hurt, and they weren't able to win any games without him. And then in 16, they
Yeah.
were back at it. They had a 3-year window where they would have been in the playoffs these 3 years in a row if it wasn't for an injury to your starting quarterback.
I don't know. They couldn't win a game without Romo. I don't know if they would have won a lot of games with him. Probably
No,
another 8 or 9, maybe
they had-
battle
they
to
were
the end.
They had already won 2 divisional games with him. I mean, but either way, they didn't. Okay, they didn't. But
Yo,
there's still hope. There's hope. Dak's coming back. Dak's gonna come back.
Not, you could always
got
come
no
to the
hope,
Niners.
dude. Team's not good.
He could wear number 4 and 49ers jersey if he wants next year.
I'm telling you, all they need to.
The Jones family has failed.
I'm not saying they haven't. You were arguing 2 different things. You're saying that Jones family has failed. I'm not saying they haven't. But when this whole thing started because you said that they were down at the bottom with the Browns,
Yeah.
the Lions. They're
Yeah, right
no,
above them.
No, they're not.
They're right above them.
They're not. Dude, they're not, dude. Because guarantee you, they've been better than the Bears. They've been better than the Vikings. They've been better than the Falcons. They've been better than a lot of teams. They've been better than the Raiders. They've probably been just as good as the Chargers. They've been better than Houston. They've been better than Jacksonville. Better than Tennessee. Better than Cincinnati. Better than obviously the NFC East, except for the Patriots. You can go down the list and you say, yeah, they've had better years overall in the last 20 years than a lot of these teams. But people want to associate the Cowboys with making the Super Bowl or bust. And because they haven't, Okay, so if the
It's
Cowboys
not
would
Super
have
Bowl or bust. Just fucking get in the playoffs 2 years in a row. You can't even do that. Give yourself a chance. They can't because they're not
I bet
good.
you this new extra game that they put in, extra wild card spot, it's gonna make a lot. It's gonna make it interesting. I bet you the teams that you didn't think were gonna be going in are now gonna start making it. I bet you the Cowboys start making it more with this extra wild card spot.
the NFC East has always had a team that's made it at least to the divisional round of the playoffs every year. So you've been fighting it out with a team that's made it to the divisional round of the playoffs every year. Every year.
And losing because you're trash.
Yeah,
You've been fighting it out and fucking losing almost every year.
dude, you could say I mean that's your opinion, I guess, but it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. The stats numbers back my
3 playoff wins.
Hey, we can agree to disagree,
3
but
playoff wins.
you're still wrong.
dude, you could say 3 playoff wins all you want, whatever. If the Cowboys would have made a Super
5
Bowl,
playoff appearances. 6?
If the
5? 6? 7.
if
Yeah, that one with those 3.
if Des Bryant's catch is called a catch, or if Aaron Rodgers doesn't go 3rd and 20,
If
or
Tony Romo doesn't fumble the snap,
dude, you got these freak plays that have happened. It's like, dude, so you're telling me if that would have gone right and they would have made a
Okay,
championship,
so you have a freak play, fucking come back next year and get in there again. But they can't.
if Des Bryant pinky wasn't too long, didn't touch the fucking out of bounds, I won the fucking playoffs.
if all I'm saying is 1 year of making the Super Bowl does not change the other 19 years. It doesn't, and that's how you are analyzing it. You're saying if they would have made the Super Bowl one time or made a championship game one time, then everything else would be forgiven. It's like, no, that doesn't work that way.
Well, be
No,
forgiven.
Niners have made it twice and they
They've
lost
been better
twice.
than. They've been better off than
It
other guys.
no, it wouldn't have been better. No, it wouldn't have been better. It wouldn't have been better. Ask Gio. Is it better
Fuck,
that
dude.
Niners twice and lost?
Bro, I'll tell you this. You know, if the Cowboys ever make it to the Super Bowl and you guys lose, and I try to talk to you guys about football, I'll tell you this. I bet you guys won't want to talk about it until fucking the football season begins for that next year. You wouldn't even care about the draft. You wouldn't even care. You're like, I don't even fuck.
Yeah, but you got to get there.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
the
but
thing
you
is
wanna win.
you want to get. You gotta trust the process. Big trust.
Dude, one more playoff win in 1 year does not change your 20 years of everything else. Doesn't. That's how way I look at it, at least. But I also get it. You say, results, the bottom line. What's the bottom line? I get it. But the bottom line is an addition of everything that's happened above it, right? And so you got to take everything into account to get to the bottom line. Not just 1 year, not just
It's
this
not
line
1
right
year.
here.
It's a group of years where they can't even make the playoffs 2 years in a row.
I do that. I'm not gonna call them a trash franchise. I'm gonna
There's
say
levels of trash, bro.
there's levels of trash.
There's fucking dumpster juice fire trash. Your Jets, your Browns. And then there's just, glad hefty 20 pound bag with scented aroma trash. And that's what the Cowboys are.